What's up, Super Friends fans? Guys, welcome back to the M.I.B Master Museum. I'll be your curator today, taking you on a nice tour of our museum, and we'll stop right at this figure. This, my friends, is a true classic. When I was a kid, I wanted to be El Dorado, the superhero from the Super Friends cartoons in the late 1970s. El Dorado, to me, had the best outfit, the coolest outfit. And Figures Toy Company, once again, has put out just a dead-on head sculpt and figure down to his entire outfit. El Dorado, they did a great job on El Dorado. And El Dorado, just some quick background on El Dorado, was created solely for the Super Friends cartoon by Hanna-Barbera. He didn't have his own comic book. He didn't exist 30 years prior to the Super Friends cartoon coming on the air. He was created specifically for the cartoon. A retro MEGO body, as Figures Toy Company can only do. They do a phenomenal job. I love the hand sculpt with the gloves. The attention to detail is flawless. Just a great job by Figures Toy Company. I give these guys a lot of credit for putting these figures out, giving the fans, especially the Super Friends fans, what we want. These are the figures we would have loved to have had back in the 70s when we were watching the TV show. Can you imagine how much business that MEGO could have done if they would have released the Super Friends MEGO figures back in the 1970s? Could you imagine that? If you want to comment on that, please do so. Leave it in the comment section right underneath this video. I mean, the business. The Super Friends was already a popular cartoon show to begin with on Saturday mornings. But to be able to have 8-inch MEGO figures of these characters back then, oh my goodness. See, he's got his cape on. Now his cape, it's a nice shiny cape. It has wiring in the edges of the cape. And you can style that cape and it'll hold its pose. Just a well done figure. Beautifully done. This looks like some type of a leather type material that they use for El Dorado. The voice for El Dorado was voiced by Fernando Escandon. Fernando Escandon was the voice for El Dorado, and he was of Mexican descent. And I believe his first appearance was when they fought the alien mummies, and that was El Dorado's first appearance with the Super Friends. He was slated to get a Superpowers smaller figure, action figure, but he never got one, I don't believe. And if I'm wrong about that information, please leave a comment in the comment section underneath this video. I would love to hear if he actually had his smaller action figure from the Superpowers line back in the early 80s. in the late 70s, early 80s. But I don't think he actually had one. So, but with that being said, let's turn this guy around. This is a Series 2. The Superfriends, they're just, Figures Toy Company, they're really producing a lot of these guys now. And as you can see, the roster, even now, has expanded further. And you'll be seeing reviews on mostly all these characters that we have at the M.I.B. Master Museum. We are very blessed and fortunate to have these guys. So you'll be seeing, and there are a ton of videos that we have out already on our catalog. So you can definitely just check our channel out, and you'll see a lot of these videos and the reviews that we've done on most of these Super Friends retro MEGO figures from Figures Toy Company. This was released in 2015. There's our guy, El Dorado. El Dorado possesses some serious powers. I like to think, to me, when I was a kid, I always thought that El Dorado was the DC version. If he had to be with a comic book, you had to put him with DC, because all the Super Friends were DC characters. So if he was the DC version of Doctor Strange. He has he has super strength, for one. He has the power of teleportation. He has mystic illusion, telepathy. So he has a lot of these things going for him that kind of like Doctor Strange has, outside of the superhuman strength. And El Dorado demonstrated that in a couple of Super Friend episodes. So he's not one to mess around with. He's just an awesome figure. Whoever did the head sculpt for this guy did a phenomenal job. And that you give Figures Toy Company a lot of credit for the research and development that they do with these figures. And sometimes it takes these figures a while to come out at Figures Toy Company, because we're waiting on some now to come out. But they want to get these figures right. These figures are designed for collectors. They're designed for collectors. This is a clamshell casing that he's in. The card is separate from the bubble he's in. All this stuff is designed for and with the collector in mind, because they know we don't want to tear up our carded figures trying to take the figures out. So you could take this guy out. We won't, because our El Dorado is for museum purposes only now, here at the M.I.B. Master Museum, where he is staying for the rest of his life. But he's, if you wanted to take this guy out and put him with your collection of other Super Friend figures, you could, and still put him right back in the card if you needed him to be in his card. So, you can have your cake and eat it too, with the way Figures Toy Company is designing their packaging. Just a phenomenal way of designing the packaging, because this guy was on a regular card, that MEGO card that we had back in the 1970s. We would have destroyed the card trying to get him out, and Figures Toy Company has rectified that. But a few other companies have, Diamond Select, they've rectified that as well. But it's just a cool way to really protect your figures and keep them in this pristine type condition. This is C10 quality right here. Like I said, this is museum quality right here. So, but I had to get this guy some TV time, and we wanted to show El Dorado some love, because I am myself of Spanish, Hispanic descent. So to me, growing up in the 70s, it was cool to see a Hispanic, superhero. It was really cool. It was cool to see the Black Vulcan. It was cool to see all these, samurai. We'll be doing a video on him. It was really cool to see a lot of these different ethnic backgrounds on the Super Friends, especially as a kid in the 70s growing up. It was so cool. And they got all these guys right, and they just did a beautiful job with all these superheroes. So it's just really fun. And this guy is his outfit's extremely colorful. Figures Toy Company, they spared no expense on this figure. No expense. I mean, they got him down everything to the right color combination of his outfit. Nothing's off. It's just, like I said, it's just Figures Toy Company at their absolute finest moment right here. Just a great figure, guys. Well, tell me what you think about El Dorado. Do you remember El Dorado? Do you actually remember him? Sure, we would love to talk about this and get the chatter started about it. Leave us a comment underneath the comment section underneath this video, and we'll get the chatter started about this guy. Just wanted to show El Dorado some love. Just an awesome figure. And with that being said, guys, thanks for the love and support. Please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to us yet. Hey, come on in, join the fun. We have a ton of surprises coming up this week. We got some guest appearances. I don't want to give it away, but you guys won't be disappointed. I'm excited. I can't contain myself right now. I'm being told to be quiet, keep everything under wraps, and they telling me to do what I do best. I guess just run my mouth. But stop on by the channel. Stay tuned. We got some fun things coming up this week for you at M.I.B. Master Museum. One last quick head shot of El Dorado close up. The collectors like the close-ups. If you haven't picked El Dorado up, please pick this guy up. You won't be disappointed. He's a cool Super Friend action figure. I love him to death. Just a great figure. And by all means, guys, you know the drill. God bless, and keep collecting.